Yeah, yeah.
What up, people? We back, baby. Yeah.
So another
Lemon squeeze. Yeah.
position.
We back for another episode, man. Cut that shit. Cut that shit, man. We back for another episode of Raw Brilliance. I'd like to thank y'all for joining us once again. I am your boy Mansa J. My partner over here is.
You know what this is. This is Ronny Marcel. Thank you for joining us for another week of Raw Brilliance. If you're listening to our voices, that means that we are pretty much doing the damn thing, providing you with entertainment. And thank you for joining us because honestly, we would not be here if it wasn't for you.
That's a fact, man. You know, we need y'all, so y'all keep on liking, subscribing, commenting on the videos. We need more comments. We really want to know what y'all think, man. But yeah, this week, man, it's been another busy week in the hip hop culture, hip hop community, and just the black community in general. So we're gonna jump right into it, dog, on some music talk today. All right. And then later on, we're gonna jump to some more the real talk segment and all that type shit. Y'all know how we do, but right now I'm gonna focus on a few artists that dropped and big names that came out. Just want to touch on them and shout them out. First off, Pop Smoke, rest in peace. You've been doing it. He was on a steady rise before his untimely passing, and just he's still rising up on the charts, still doing his thing. I think he's still at number 2 right now. So
Number two.
yeah, on the Billboard 200. So like that's big shit, and he was really on his come up, and it's just sad that he's gone.
One
Gonna
I
what?
wish
What's up?
I was gonna say one thing I wish is like the fact that when Pop Smoke was here, I
Yeah,
would appreciation to his music because don't get me wrong, like I heard a couple of tracks when he was around and I didn't really too much care because like there's always different rappers, different artists have their certain wave where they kind of rap and all that good stuff.
yeah,
So
for sure.
me being engulfed into trap music because like honestly that's just the shit right now. It's like I'm so used to that. Like when Pop Smoke came out, gave us some of that good New York shit. It's just like I didn't take it like I really wanted to attend it, but like after like his untimely pass, rest in peace. It was like whoa. Let me okay. Let me. It started playing a little bit more often, and then I just like this is actually not that bad. And when he actually brought out this album, I was like, yo, this actually got some like this got some bangers on this. I'm like, man, I'm like, I hate that we like really like get connected with artists when they like they timely pass, like him, Juice World, XX, like
Yeah,
ah,
but they were all young artists though, so like the world hadn't really been able to embrace them yet. It was just certain pockets and of the culture, like big people like in hip hop that like know the culture, know the up and comers, know the risers, the movers, the shakers of the business. Like he was just on that up and comer wave, and there's so many of them right now. Like out of New York, it's like five, maybe six, like young ones just on the come up. You feel me? And he was one of those in the drill music scene that was really doing his thing. And as far as Juice WRLD, like I wasn't up on. I knew who Juice WRLD was. I knew who his music was, of course, because it was on the radio and shit. But I wasn't up on him like that. I wasn't up on Pop Smoke like that either. But I just knew who he was. I was aware of him. I had heard some of his tracks and shit in the club, especially like when he started to really pop was last year or whatever. So he was relatively fresh and new to the scene. So it's not surprising that you didn't really know who he was here. And of course, if somebody passed, even if they up on the come up, and when he had so many cosigns as he had out of New York, big names, then of course it was going to be talked about more because folks knew he was really going to be one of those players in the next few years or whatever. So, but yeah, he was on the ride. Juice World, his album still doing his Gunna doing his thing. But Big Sean dropped. Big Sean, he should be hitting number one this
oh,
week, I think, or something.
great
So
too. Shout outs to Michigan.
yeah,
We up thing. We legalized weed. Just remember y'all.
yeah. My girl is actually from Detroit, so like she that's That's a big look. I love Big Sean. He my probably one of my in my top 10, you know what I mean, rapper, just because his style and delivery, like he trying to change it up and he trying to think outside the box, you know, which for far as his bars and his flow delivery. But his
Bro. His
project was
wordplay,
solid, man. Yeah, his
wordplay
wordplay.
is so freaking crazy. It's one of those things like, yo, you just be listening to it, and like sometimes it's just one of those things where you be listening to it and you trying to enjoy the song, but the stuff that he says is just like, nigga, did he just say that? And then you just like, oh shoot. You just like you fall in love with pretty much his wordplay when he going back to back, do all that good stuff. And that's why it's
Yeah,
like one thing when Big Shaw came out with his, debut single with with Chris Brown, my last, like, yo, that's what put me on. Like, cause even though I was in Saginaw at the moment, like just knowing Big Sean, and then just like, yo, when he was doing that, like he was repping Detroit. I'm not even bullshitting. I'm like, I know we have Eminem. I know we got Trick Trick. I know we got all the big players that said Detroit. I was so excited with Big
yeah,
Sean
all the big players.
because the fact, like, it was just that Big Sean, it was just one of the artists that I can flow, I could follow. And it was like, yo, I fucks with him on a heavy. So I gotta give a shout out to my home city, the Dirty Glove,
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, but he really doing his thing, and he had a solid project, man. It was hella dope. I like it. I fuck with it a lot. But we'll see if he does hit number one. I think he was projected to do it, so this week we'll know for sure though. But yeah, man. Who else we have? Oh yeah, shout out Conway the Machine, man. He just dropped his first solo project, and he been one of my favorites for a couple years now. Him and that whole Griselda team over there, they've been him, West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher, like they've been putting in major work for a couple years now, dropping
Mhm.
amazing works, and they bar delivery is stupid, and he's definitely one of my favorites right now. Then he went and got Method Man out on goddamn Lemon, and that was like I hadn't heard Method spit. You know, he came probably one of the hottest verses of the year right now. He killed that shit. So shout out Meth man for stepping back out. Shout out Conway. We're gonna see where that album go, but it's definitely I ain't really got to dive all the way into it yet, but I've heard probably about 6 tracks on it, and I'm loving what I'm hearing. So that whole sound out there and that whole Griselda movement, y'all keep doing your thing, man. That shit is
Before we get too deep, I do have to go ahead and get shout out to Meth because my man's is starting this week in Power. The Power Book series, because
yeah. I ain't even
Power.
watching that shit.
Yeah, this that second episode should be aired tonight,
Yeah.
and that's where you'll see more of Method Man and Mary. And yo, I ain't gonna lie, I saw a tidbit of Meth playing in the big city lawyer. My guy, I'm not gonna lie, the dude Meth, y'all been sleeping on him when he was like acting like, yo, my
Nah, I
man.
think you been sleeping on him. Everybody been knowing Meth was the man. What you talking about? Everybody knew Meth was gonna kill his role.
What's the last show that he was on that you watched him act?
That he did what now?
What's the last show that you saw that he was acting?
Um, the last show that I saw that he was acting in the Wu Tang Saga series, he was in that. He was in a few different projects, the breaks over the last few years or whatever, like small roles in movies and shit. But everything he always touched, he killed that shit. Even in How High, he killed that shit. Like he was a better actor out of the two of them. Like that shit was funny to the
Well,
motherfucker
I'm not
too.
trying to be mean, but Redman wasn't really doing that much. He was just being just Redman. Like he was just pretty much playing himself. Method Man had to pretty much bring it in for both of them, so I give him that on that. But no, Meth, he's like
And the
really.
kid been dope.
it's something different because like honestly, you know how most when it comes to artists, especially rap artists, they
Yeah.
sometimes depending on how you look, they always kind of put you in a bubble or put you in a role that you're pretty much playing the stereotypical. So if you got tattoos and all this and all that, you probably play a hood nigga or do something like that. But
Sometimes, bro, but
sometimes, but like it's been getting better. But I'm
yeah,
just saying
yeah,
how
especially
you
over the
look.
last 5, 6 years or whatever. Like it's been really good at that.
Well, I'm just saying how you look because the fact that like if you're all tatted up like crazy and all that stuff, you're gonna put yourself in that bubble. But like you know when Method Man he coming out, you know he ain't that kind of guy. This dude is actually playing like a really high profile lawyer, which he's looking really good, like dead serious sleep.
Even
All
if he had tattoos, he could have did that though.
I mean, yeah, but you know you got
As
some
long
people.
as they ain't got him on his face and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong, DC Unfly when he they did this Christmas, they had took that DC off of his face. So don't get me wrong, they will
Yeah, it's the movies, bro. You can do a lot of shit.
I mean, if it's not that much, that's what I'm saying. It's only a little piece that they gotta get off of right there. And that was it.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
like, you know, you got somebody that's like Lil Wayne or pretty much Chris Brown, well, Chris Brown now. It's just like that's gonna be a lot.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
like I
true.
said, like, I can't. I'm here for it. I'm loving see this new Method Man project that he's doing out. So there's gonna be some dope TV we gonna
Yeah,
be
for sure.
part
I'm probably not gonna watch Power 2. I might check it out just to see. Like the only reason I would watch it is for Meth and Mary J. Like just to see how they rose off because they both are good actors. So, and I'm a acting type of buff, so I like watching good acting, and especially from musical artists that I also love too. So that'll probably be the only reason I want to check it out. But I just didn't like the way that shit, the Power One ended, man. That shit fucked me up. And
of
then I
it.
don't like the kid's character, Tariq, the new ghost or whatever. I just can't fuck with him, bro. Like I'm done with him. I'm through with him.
Bro,
As far as this show, but as far as the acting and other shit, I'm gonna fuck with him still. But nah, my nigga, I can't do the whole ghost too, man. My nigga, I
bro,
can't do it.
I'm not gonna lie. I still feel some type of a way about his sister.
You definitely do because it was a great show, and that's what great shows do. They get you emotionally invested in that shit, and you are man. When that nigga was doing all the shit he was doing for like the last 2 seasons, I was done with his ass. Like I wanted him
Was
send,
like
send that nigga to boarding school, goddamn.
yes, he was that annoying ass, rich, privileged ass black kid, and he wanted to be down, do this, do that, and then he was going around doing all this bullshit. Got his twin sister involved in the shit, and she
Man,
over
don't get me started on this. It's gonna get us off track, bro. It's gonna get us off track, man. Don't
he
get
had
started.
the fucking
Nah,
balls
I
to
ain't
go
talking about.
all to do,
But
and
still,
then
man, nah.
shot. And the only thing he did was watch.
All
Right
right.
there, I was like, that nigga's. Oh, I can't say.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
ain't
let's
even
go.
gonna get off in all that though. But back to the shout outs to though, man. But Conway, I can't wait to fully get into the project. That shit was 100%. The stuff that I heard was dope as far as I expect, and I can't wait for that first Shady uh uh debut with Shady Records. So that one's supposed to be dropping too. That's crazy. He dropped 4 projects this year, all been fire. And his fifth one that no, he dropped 3 already, but he said he's gonna drop 4. And his fourth one's gonna be his debut release for Shady Records. And I can't wait for that because I know for him, he gonna try and get that boy everything right there, and he gonna try and make that shit ridiculous. So I know the production on there gonna be wild.
Mm-hmm.
No West Side Gun gonna bring some crazy heat. He might go back and get Alchemist on there too. I don't know. Gibbs been killing it too lately, and you know Gibbs probably gonna be on that project too. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm looking forward to that. And we also had this one brings me. I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of bad because it brings me a little joy to say this, but
What's
I
up?
I'm just Takashi shit look like it's flopping out here for a person of his, for a person that has as much security and shit that he has, and money being going out, like his projected numbers are like 45, $50,000 worth of, like sales, or like move units and shit. Which, if you was a small artist, independent coming up, you know what I mean, and that's good, that's cool. But if you got as big budget, a big as budget as he does, with all the security, the 8 cars that got to be around him at all times just to move to go anywhere, like that's not good. And record labels, whatever label he on or whoever partnerships he got, like that's not gonna sell products. If you can't even sell your own products, how you gonna sell our products or get, bring us more? Because for a big time agency or firm or music company, 40, 50,000 is not nothing. Like that's like a change to them, and especially when they spending a bunch on your rollouts and shit like that. It's looking bad for that boy out there, man. Looking real
Yeah.
bad, and I'm kind of happy about it. Yeah, what's up, bro?
So here's the thing. Like, I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, don't feel bad because he
Why
put
do you
himself.
feel bad?
No, he just put himself in the. Well, here's the thing. He is like, I think the safest place this dude will probably want to be after everything is going to probably be back in jail because, let's be
God
real.
damn.
I'm just saying, right now, he's in a position where, like, his albums didn't do that much. He's got to go ahead and try to put out more music, so or put up more streaming, or do other things to go ahead and try to compensate. So the fact that he can have that general flow,
Yeah,
because like I said, he has around the clock security. So, bro, you that shit is expensive just alone. Because one, you gotta pay for them and a premium, and then two, they're around the clock. So they pretty much in that position where that is going to be, that's going to be costly. And
yeah.
then also, like, yeah, he pretty much came out of nowhere and just pretty much, he pretty much mocked the cold culture, talking about I did this, I did that, your favorite rapper this, your favorite rapper that, pretty much trying to dog anybody and drag anybody that he can possibly do. And then in the process of him doing that, I mean, it just like it's bad business. Nobody want to fuck with him. Nobody want to really do shit with him. So everybody just like keeping a distance away from him.
Not
And
everybody, but yeah.
I mean, I would say all most of the majors that's relevant right now.
Well,
Like there's
yeah,
people that's gonna that's doing stuff with them right now, but like I
yeah.
mean, it's not like, oh my god, I gotta go check out that record. It's something like, okay, I give it a listen if it's something happens to be mixing properly with the song. So I'm
Uh,
gonna say that's what it goes to with
I'm
that.
I'm saying like the numbers and everything, they could be deceiving, and that's why his projections were so high for this album release, because his videos getting like 17 million hits, 20 million hits, like numbers going up. His singles were getting clicks and shit like that, millions and millions of clicks. So once again, so people thought when his album dropped, that same energy was going to transfer to his album sales. But what people don't understand is, I was watching the Joe Budden podcast, and Maul said folks love to watch a train wreck, and so it's pretty much like the same thing. People are gonna click just to see what the fuck you on, bro. Like, okay, he doing this. He got this song where he pretty much calling himself a snitch. Okay, I see him doing. It's like folks just clicking to see, because it's like this nigga is unraveling right in front of us, bro. And like it looked like he, because you got a Nicki Minaj, which was crazy that she jumped on the song with him. You got Akon going to go do Locked Up 2, and like Locked Up 2, my nigga, with Styles P on there, and you know Styles P ain't finna fuck with this nigga though, bro. And then you got like Akon talking about him and defending him, and shit like that. And we love Akon and shit Akon doing in Africa. Like the nigga literally building his own city up there. he bought licenses to over 300 million people in Africa, like in that area, in his home country. Like he's doing great things over there, bro. Like, why the fuck is you associated with this dude? Like, it's a million other black dudes out here who actually going through the system that need that come up. Not saying Akon not helping them as well, but this is a horrible example, my nigga. Like he was he was grown when he was with this gang who was supposed to be taking advantage of him and shit. My nigga was grown. You had money now. You could have called, asked for help to get out this, move to another state. Like
Hmm.
got a different group around you or some shit. You could, if your baby mama, if they was fucking your baby mama, okay, file for custody for your kid or whatever, and like go get the fuck away from her. You don't gotta fuck with her, bro. Like what she do is what she do.
When it
But
comes to Tekashi 69 story, it's just like, yo, you said this, but there was always a different option. But you just pretty much everything that he said was
that's
just a
been the whole thing, bro. And the big
whole
thing, yeah, the big thing is integrity. Like the type of man that he is. Like other folks have said this, but this is what I truly believe. It is just all integrity. And you showed your true colors right there on them stands. You got
hmm
like other people your age to go through them same circumstances. When it was all good, you was all good. You wasn't tripping. You was calling out Chief Keef. You was doing all types of shit. They had your back or whatever. You was calling out hits on the phone on live. Like to shooters. Like, so you knew what the fuck you were doing, bro. And then to go sit on the stand and give all them years to all them young black men, like, and yes, them people have to take accountability for themselves too. Like, they got all them years for fucking with a lame ass dude, bro. Like, they knew he was lame and they knew that that's why they stayed around because it was money there. It was
brought
money
yeah,
around. And
the
they
fact
knew he was
they brought
lame. Yeah,
that's why they should get what they got because the fact that honestly, I ain't trying to step into it, but like the fact that y'all brought this dude in, y'all had let him claim gang and just for the money, but didn't know
yeah,
he pretty much get caught in a pinch. He is taking the whole in the organization now. And that's pretty much what this dude did. And it's kind of fucked up and everybody looking at him like, damn, like he pretty much snitched on all. I'm like, yo, they gonna be together inside, but like this is pretty much what you did to
yeah.
Takashi 6. So, like I
I ain't
said,
like saying that. I ain't saying that they should have got the time that they got because I think the whole system is fucked up anyway. But they got to take responsibility and got to be like accept that time that they got. You know what I mean? So,
mhm.
hey, the situation is what it is. His numbers are what they are. But I was just saying all that to say like his numbers and when they were trying to project it to go number one and do really big numbers was based off numbers that were telling you a story with no nuance. Like people just wanted to, they was clicking to see what was going on behind. But as far as his music wise and like shit like that to those numbers, uh, it's
Uh,
not gonna translate because niggas ain't really trying to support you like that. Like, yeah, we'll click on a free YouTube video or some shit like that, or even like a single just to check it out. But as far as whole projects and shit, it ain't even worth it. And
Here's the
I'm
thing:
not
we're
even I'm not sad about it at all, man, because he showed his true colors and the type of man he is, and that's my whole deal. Like just the type of man that you gonna be. You can say all this other shit. They did this and did that, but at the end of the day, you chose to be the person that you are, and you help facilitate a lot of this bad karma that's out here in the world. So niggas ain't trying to get next to that
you
energy.
gotta think about this when we're talking about this new age, a new way of how we all take in music. It's all streams, and man, at the end of the day, it's all digital. And these numbers can easily be fabricated. Like especially if you got money and you got a decent team, you can easily buy this shit. So that's why I'm
It's
saying,
harder now though to like
yeah,
skew the numbers though.
yeah, it's so much easier. Like that's serious.
Mm,
Like
no,
there's
it's
so
not. It's
no.
harder now. It used to be easier, but they changed a lot of the format in digital ways now to where you can't like add merch to your ticket sales and do all that type of shit
No,
no more.
I'm
So
not going into the merch, but I'm talking about digital because sometimes like there's the things where some people there's hackers that get information or pretty much logins to certain accounts. So like say So you got a Spotify. If Spotify account, your credentials get into the black market, somebody from the black market can buy that for a particular this particular company, who pretty much is like, I pay them some money, and only thing they need to just give me 1,000 streams. And like they have so many, like there it's a Vice episode that's out there. There's pretty much like they got these whole banks full of iPhones and all that stuff. Where if you want to listen to a particular song, they'll go ahead and put that song on, play it, so you could go ahead and get that stream. That's why most people's like, they thought
On
that
bots and shit.
at one point, yeah, at one point they thought that French Montana was doing that shit, because like they was like, yo, you saying you getting these streams, but nobody really asking for your shit.
But that was a couple years ago, though.
That was a couple years ago, but like
I'm
honestly,
saying like they changed a lot of the rules now as far as the streaming service. I'm talking about Apple specifically, Spotify, all of them. Like they beefed up their security even over the last 6 months, like because of bots and shit like that you're talking about. So I'm just saying now, as far as just clicks and shit on YouTube, yeah, that could have been adjusted a little bit, but 20 million is 20 mil, bro. Like it was people clicking on that shit. I'm
no,
just saying it's different from actual album sales, like selling a project, a body of work. Like that's just people trying to see the train wreck. Like you gonna slow down if it's a car wreck on the side of the road or some shit, you gonna slow down, right? Like not that you want to see this fucked up shit, you still praying for everybody and happy for everybody if they made it out okay and shit. But are you gonna slow down on that shit, right? And you're gonna be like, what the fuck going on over here? That's what them clicks for
fucked up
YouTube were for Takashi.
analogy, but I love
Huh?
it. So fucked up analogy, but I love it though, because it's so
It's
accurate.
fucked up, bro. And yeah, but it's
But
true though. What I'm saying, and that's what was happening with Takashi, bro. That's what was happening. Now these projects is like we know everybody okay in the car wreck and shit. Now it's like we going on about our life. We ain't worried about these extra projects and all that shit. Like people just ain't fucking with it. Like your energy is being horrible. Like karma is gonna hit you at some point. You going you gonna come back to earth. So he better find other ways to make money investing in different events because he got a lot of security to pay for.
I did see that he do have a, mobile game out now.
A what?
He has a mobile game. Like he has a mobile game, so I give him props of actually kind of like,
Man, we ain't even shouting that shit out, man. We ain't even
no,
shouting that shit out. Fuck
hey,
that. I don't
it's
care
no
about no
interest.
game.
I give you props. I won't talk about who you are, but the business
I ain't
ventures.
even want to spend this much time on that shit, bro.
You the one who brought it up.
No, I brought it up just to say like about the album sale, but I ain't trying to get into all this. I don't want to support the nigga. I don't want to. I don't really want to say his name, but right now he is notable in our culture for I think for bullshit, but he is in there and the album sales and shit is a big name. Shit he done, it have to be addressed. But we finna go ahead and move on off this nigga though. But yeah, as far as Conway, Big Sean, who else? Who else? Who else? Oh yeah, Gunna, Juice World, Pop
Nope.
Smoke. RPs and blessings to the ones that passed, the ones that still here getting it. Shouts out to y'all. Y'all got an amazing project and it's reflecting, and y'all shares and shit like that. But we finna go ahead and move on. And my boy over here got some shit of, what I mean, some Netflix activities going on in the culture as far as black shows and stuff. So I'm gonna let him break that down for y'all, and I'm gonna sip some of this coffee and try and wake up a little more.
You made it sound so dirty when you said it. You like that. You got that net.
Damn, it's,
Like,
it gets a
oh,
little dirty around here, goddamn.
it's like, yo, I just want to talk about my stuff that I've been watching.
Get your
Uh,
shit out, fam. Goddamn.
no, so hey, okay. Anyways, one of the things that I saw, and I'm here for it, and I'm loving it, is the fact that there in Netflix there has been an insurgence of well, I might said that wrong, but there's been an abundance of black shows that have been popping up.
Okay.
So shows that is pretty much brand new. Well, I say brand new. Well, coming to Netflix that everybody's looking for. You got the game. You got girlfriends. You got
Yep.
sister sister. What else is another show that kind of came out that pretty much been on there? It's I'm pretty much that's I know that's the first three, and there's others. I'm just like I'm dumbfounded right about them because like at one point in time they did have the Fresh Prince, but Fresh Prince went to HBO, but that's not either there. But it's one of the things that everybody is for. And I'm for it too because it's one of those things that back in the day, I was over here as a young buck, not even understanding what the shit that they were talking about. But I just love the black shows. I love seeing
The
black
young buck.
people on TV, like doing a thing, seeing them in high power positions. Mainly my show girlfriends, because don't get me wrong, you know, it's a show with all these women's high profile women, but they was doing a damn thing. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of feel some type of way because of me being 30 at the time when this show was going on, they was depicting people of 29, 28, and all that stuff. And you already got Joan being a high junior partner in a law firm. Then
That
you got
is interesting to think about, though, bro.
like they had
Like,
their whole lives right there. And I'm like, damn, I'm right now. And I'm like, my bad.
I mean,
Like,
like I'm talking about like our ages right now, how they were depicted. We were kids then, but they were depicting people our age now. That
mhm.
is very interesting, though. But go ahead, bro.
But it's so funny because like they have their whole lives like, oh there, you got why I can't think it the mixed girl, but she was pretty much the college student. And then you also got the other girl who was Jones' assistant. But it was so funny because looking at them, just
What
looking at
was
that,
her name, bro? I used to love her, man. I used
bro.
to. I was infatuated with her, my dude. Like I was. She had it all, fam.
So bad because the fact that I was really watching this shit yesterday. And I'm like, the only two people I pretty much fucked with on a heavy tip was Joan and Tony. Joan and Tony was like two and William because he was the only guy there. And sometimes I kind of just thought for a moment, I ain't gonna lie, we did thought he was gay. And then for the whole time, I almost thought that he was going to eventually get with Joan because I mean that made sense, and I felt like in TV sitcoms that would happen, but it didn't happen. But with that being said, sorry, I had a weird thing allergy come on. I'm not crying about this damn shit, so don't think.
I hope not, my G, because I'm like, where's he going with this shit, bro? Where,
I'm just saying that this show is really good, huh? Bullshit. But no, what I'm saying is, it's like it was one of those things. It's like so funny because being of the age, we could see back in the day like what we used to love and what we used to do. Oh, one of the shows was Moesha, but that's the other back. But anyways,
you was
going
really watching them, like I really wasn't into them like that, but my sisters were, and I got a lot of sisters, so and my mom, and aunts used to watch those shows and stuff like that. So
it was my mom because the fact that like my mom always put this shit on and I had to watch it, and then it just one of those things where you just got used to it. Like I don't even like saying this sometimes, but I just say, hey, it's part of my life. It's part of my geo or my ego. But you know,
bro,
no,
go ahead, go.
I was gonna say my mom was one of the person like she used to love soap operas. And at one point in my life, I was like into soap
That was my
operas.
grandma. I never got into it, but she was like, she them soap operas at fucking 11 to like 2 o'clock. Don't fuck with her, bro. Do not fuck with her or something like that. It was like to 10 to 1. Where in the mornings it was, huh?
As the world turned, like Days of Our Lives, General Hospital,
All
Pat.
that shit.
I used to
All
watch
that shit.
that bullshit along with The Price is Right, but that's
Nigga, that's what me and my grandma, that was our bonding thing. Wheel of Fortune and the Price is Right. The,
Man.
those were our bonding things. Now, with my mom, she watched Golden Girls all the time, and I fucking love Golden Girls. And I heard that, bro, on some real shit. Uh, uh, we talking about girlfriends, but Ross or whatever, she's supposed to be doing like a reboot of the Golden Girls with all black chicks. And if that shit pop off, you lock me in, book me down. I'm sitting there for that first 6, 7 episodes. Don't bother me. I want to see what this shit really about because Golden Girls is funny to the motherfucker and highly slept on, my nigga.
Bro, that shit gonna be so fucking real. But anyways, oh, I got something to tell you, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait to this. So pretty much going back there, I was watching Girlfriends. If you watch it right now, the first 3 episodes,
Yeah.
I came to the conclusion, and I even had this little conversation on my Facebook. Yo, that Tony is a straight up bitch. Like I get like you
Everybody
don't
knew that.
like it's one of those things where I don't want to call a woman out her name, but man, she was dirty, bro. Like she was the person. One, she pretty much on the first episode, she brought Jones' ex boyfriend to her birthday dinner as her date, and she was dating her the dude. Joan broke up with the dude because of the fact that hey, he wasn't ready to commit, and she wanted to move on, and the fact that she still felt some type of way. I was like, damn, this messed up. Then another episode is when Tony was messing with a married man, and she thought that to be safe and all that, they should have sex at Jones' house. And they were just like messing around at Jones' house, doing this, doing that. I was like, yo, that is fucked up. And then it was just like, yo, I can't, like, I don't understand how the fact that, they have this relationship of all being friends, yet she was the most toxic one. Cause like this day and age, like honestly, you want all that toxicity out of your life. Everybody's talking about that shit. And I'm like, yo, she is the most fucked up friend. Like I could see where 1, 2, 3 girls fit in, but her, she was always that oddball. Like, why would y'all even deal with this girl? Like, what is the use of even bringing her into this damn show?
Um, the reason for bringing it in the show is because of the is like about women, bro, and it's about aspects of women's friendships that I don't know we could kind of touch on it, but really not. But it had to
Well,
bring a different aspect from all different sides of women's angles, so it had to have all the different type of friends, bro. It had to have the responsible one, the wild one, the one that sleeps around, the smart one, the lazy, whatever they chose. Those 4 different type of women or those 4 personalities to be on the show. So I don't know, bro. I really don't know what what the question is. What is?
I don't know. Sometimes I be in thought about this, but nah, it's just like I was comparing this to also Living Single because Living Single was that show, and you got 4 women who pretty much depicted different type of lifestyles, and then you know what? Fuck it. It's something we don't really need to really go into details because honestly, like I said, I know one of the things it's going to do is I'm gonna get in this rabbit hole just from we're looking at you, just like yo, what the fuck? Like you don't even
I'm
know
trying
how.
to. I'm just
Like
trying to figure out why. Like I
yo,
know why it was brought up because we're gonna transition into the real talk
like
subject about another show
deal, I real
that's
deal.
on Netflix. So you were just trying to let folks know that all the black shows are back on Netflix and shit.
No, I was like, pretty much the black shows are back on Netflix, and when me going back reminiscing on these black shows, I really not noticed like back in the day versus now.
I see
Um,
what you're saying
show
now.
episodes, like yo, some of these people that were doing bullshit and they
Mhm.
were ain't shit, and the fact that this was way past my head, and I didn't even know this shit till me rewatching all this shit
I don't
because
know. It was pretty obvious to me back there who each chick was on the show, bro. Like even back then at a young tender age, like I still knew, like, yeah, Jonah responsible one in living. Now, in Living Single, I love that show. I think it was a great. It was the first Friends. Like Friends, pretty much stole their whole concept and shit like that, and just made a white version of it and
That's a
put a bunch of funding and shit behind it, and it blew up. But
mhm.
in Living Single was Friends, and that shit was excellent. Queen Latifah did her thing. Like all of them did their thing on there, and that was a great show for especially young black kids to be watching and to seeing black women like that in those roles, and and even black men, who were uh, both had respectable jobs doing their thing and shit like that. So it was a great show. As far as the characters though, that's just what a writer's got to figure that out. Like me being a writer, like you go into the writer room, like what's gonna grab people's attention the most? What four characters are gonna grab people's attention the most? And what's gonna fit the storyline better so we can weave it in and get out some seasons out of this. And you got to have that one dysfunctional one and have the fights and all that, and the friends sleeping with friends, ex boyfriends and shit. So you know, it is what it is. But all great shows, all they back on Netflix, and it's a wonderful time. If you was born in the late '80s and raised in the '90s, or born in the early '90s and shit, and you got the experiences as a kid, go rewatching it. How you saying? Going to rewatch it now when we're older and of the age that they are talking about and reflecting, it is a different type of feel to it because it's like, damn, I did that shit last week, or it's like just even with your own friends today, interacting with them, how they interacted with them. So it is kind of like a mind fuck almost, like this shit is like nostalgic watching this, but it's like weird because I used to be a kid watching this, and now I'm the same age as these characters. You feel me? So yeah, it, it is watching it from two different worlds though. So I'm with you, bro.
It'll be weird if I had kids right about now. So it'll be like, damn. I used to I was a kid once upon a time watching this with my mama. Now I'm
Yeah,
an adult watching this with my kid. And you
yeah.
never know. My kid might be in watching it with their kid. I'm like,
I'm
damn, this
definitely gonna watch Golden Girls with my kids, bro, because that shit is a timeless bop, bro. It is a timeless classic. That I watch every episode of that shit and I still be rolling, bro. I smoke a
I don't know
blunt or something and I'll be dying.
but
Huh?
I don't know about Golden Girls, but I'll fuck with Sanford and Sons.
But that too. That too. Everything on Nick at Night, my mom used to have me watching because a lot of time we didn't have cable, bro. So all we had was them antennas or whatever, and got the local stations. And Nick
Bro.
at Night was always one of them that we got.
Shit, at least y'all had Nick and Night because we ain't had that. But one thing, all right, let me ask you this: did you used to watch The Facts of Life with
I seen
Mrs.
the Facts of Life. Yeah, I used to watch anything that was on because we didn't have cable, bro. So it was like at my mom's house, we hardly ever had cable. So it's like I watched all them old shows: Sanford and Son, Green Acres, fucking. I used to watch Golden Girls, Bewitched, like all that shit. The old shows that was
Damn, be
running
with.
way before my time, bro. Like I was young and shit. Like these shows were made in the '60s and shit, bro. I used to watch all that shit, all that shit.
I'm gonna say it like this. I think I focused most of my childhood. Like I think I watched mostly the shows that had at least a black some black counterparts into it. So I did like I said, Three's not Three's Company. That was all white. But
I used to watch Three's Company too.
what's that? Different Strokes. Cause I used to
Yeah, I
love
used to
that.
watch that. Oh, Fonz, nigga. I used to love Happy Days, bro.
I did
I used
fuck
to
with
love Happy Days.
what was the facts of life because pretty much that shit was kind of like that. It was comical at the time, and Mrs. Garrison, I had a weird crush on her,
Stop
so
it. Stop
I'm not.
it. It's just starting to get weird, bro. It's starting to get weird.
No, no girls. Like, oh,
It's starting to get weird, my G. Let's, let's go ahead
but
and transition. That nigga said the Garrison.
I did only seen, and it's oddly that I remember this. Only seen one episode of the one show that pretty much made a spinoff of Family Matters. So I used to watch Family Matters, but
It was a
the
spinoff to Family Matters?
yeah, Family Matters was actually a spinoff,
It
because
was.
wow, I can't think of that. So the mother in Family Matters, the
Yeah.
uh yeah, she was, pretty much in the beginning, or she was a operator, a elevator operator. So she was an elevator operator for this one show that and it was pretty much a white show, and pretty much they always use the elevator, so you always see her, and she had her conversations and all that stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was actually a really dope show, because I only saw one or two episodes from it. But that's later down in life when I found out that that's they brought that was an actual spinoff, and
Yeah.
which kind of help, pretty much
I
build
didn't
up.
know that at all.
Yeah, you'd be surprised that all the shit that we had that we didn't know that was kind of like spinoffs and shit.
It's like literally nothing like those old TV shows though, bro. Like they just don't make them today the same. Like those late '80s, even like '70s, '80s, and early '90s shows, like they don't make them like that no more, man. Like that, it was just something about those natural studio audiences, like the real studio audiences. Like you had to go out there and put on a show in front of them. Like now they got the fake studio artist labs on like Netflix and shit. I've been seeing shows and it's just it's somebody editing. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just hitting a button over and over to make the laugh. Like ain't nobody laughing at that shit, bro. What the fuck going on, man? Y'all here trying to trick a nigga and shit. But yeah, man, love all that old shit though, bro. Love all that shit, man.
and
But
this pretty much a staple is not fat living Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Now, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that is a fucking staple into mostly everybody's community, because of the fact that, especially if you ain't had a dad growing up, everybody looked into Uncle Phil as pops and all that stuff. So pretty much just following that family and just loving it, understanding it, that was the shit. Now,
RP Uncle Phil, for
now
real.
here's the thing I wanted to bring up
Talk to
with.
me. Talk to me.
So they are making a drama for the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
A drama, like a show, or is it gonna be just a movie or what?
So the Fresh Prince of Bel Air is gonna be it's gonna come back, and what they're gonna do, instead of it being like a comedy how it was back in the day, so this one is gonna be more of a drama. So there's
Uh,
there's like, honestly, I'm not even bullshit when I say this. If you go on to like the Fresh Prince Bel Air drama, you'll see a video of a kid who pretty much put it together. It was beautiful. Like honestly, it was dope. And it pretty much took the whole premise of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, like the whole beginning, but it made it into like a crazy ass dramatic trailer, and it
yeah.
was like very appealing. Will Smith ended up seeing it, talking to the kid, the director who put it together. They collaborated along with another showrunner, and then they pitched this to NBC's, aka the Peacock, a brand new streaming service that now is out here, and they
What's it called?
Peacock.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And just from I saw the other day that Will Smith said on on his little blog that he was like, NBC has pretty much greenlighted a 2 season they ordered 2 seasons, and that's
Yeah.
like something that hardly ever happens, especially with just a pilot episode.
Oh,
So
facts. Yeah.
we're gonna be getting that shortly when further down the line, so be on the lookout for that. But that is gonna be kind of dope, because they're gonna pretty much, it's gonna be weird, because the fact that we know all the episodes. We see all the episodes of how Will came into play, all the stuff that happened. But now you pretty much see a more dramatic side of it. So it's gonna be weird because all the fun parts and all that stuff is gonna just be more real. So you're pretty much gonna be more reminiscent. And I honestly feel like this is gonna be more for us, the people who grew up during that time. So
Yeah.
honestly, I'm all for it.
I'm it sounds interesting. Like I'm definitely gonna check it out. Um it's the Fresh Prince, bro. So anything with that name attached to it is gonna get a look from these eyes, you feel me? So because as a kid, that was one of my favorite shows, Fresh Prince, Martin, Jamie Foxx show. Like those were like my three back in the day. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out and see the drama part of it. It's very interesting, and whoever the kid was, I'm not sure the name who did remake it, but it's very creative and smart because throughout that show, it was a lot of dramatic scenes, even with all the comedy. And you could even go farther into that drama or whatever, and still make an excellent show because it's going to be thought provoking. There was a lot of situation there about like Will and Cardinum going to jail and that stuff happening that's happening today's time. The father aspect, having to move from a city like um,
Philly.
yeah, like that's quote unquote dangerous in certain parts out to nice suburbs of Bel Air, still being a black man and having to deal with those different type of stereotypes and dangers out there as opposed to the inner city. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm definitely going to give it a look. I would like to see that one that was already did by the kid or whatever. So
Yeah, the
that,
trailer is out there and it's actually really dope. So like, yeah, be on the lookout for that. It's so funny because pretty much Will's character is gonna be a kid from Philly who pretty much had rough bringing. He's over here, come to a new area. He's not ready to open up and all that stuff, but he's just being open to it. Carlton's character, that's what's gonna be funny because his character is going to be a black Republican. So pretty much the idea of trust fund kid or a kid who feels like he has the whole life ahead of him because of the fact that how he was bringing upraised and all that stuff. So I would love to go ahead and see how the stuff that Will goes through transpires into Carlton's life and all that good stuff.
yeah, bro. It's like two different classes classing together in today's time. It'll make for great TV, and especially if they touching on real points and they can insert
Mhm.
today's things that have been going on into the timeline and into the story's timeline, and it could be something that's really great, like really moving, especially right now in this climate that our country's in and that the world is in. It can really do some things, man. Like really do some things. So I'm definitely interested in seeing what happens with it.
Yeah, I think the reason why they actually went to Peacock is like it was originally on NBC, so that's pretty much why I think they went straight there. But like I can't wait for this to happen. So that's one of the things. So be on the lookout for the Fresh Prince when it drops. And honestly, I'll pretty much make sure we share the trailer of the Fresh Prince remake for the new series that's coming out. So just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, they can do it on a Facebook page or something like
Yeah,
that
that's
or
why we
whatever.
we'll share it when I pass the link. I have the link. I just don't want to mess up the recording. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I got you. We got it. We'll share that. You'll be right. So don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
but for sure, let's jump into this real talk segment, man, about the movie on Netflix, Cutie or
All right.
whatever. It's a good transition and to something more dramatic since we're talking about comedy going to dramatic. So let's go ahead and transition into that and how the people in an uproar right now about Cutie
So
or cute.
this
Is it cute or cutie?
cuties. So this is something that's not a lot of people This is pretty much all right. So honestly, try to stay with me. And honestly, if you haven't seen the movie, just to give you a heads up, this will have some spoilers because I did have to watch it just for purposes, and then I did have like a little conversation with everybody about it. So just to say,
Yeah,
give us a
like
spoiler.
you don't gotta like explain the whole movie. Just like
Well, the thing is, explaining
get
what
what you thought
people
about
are
it.
mad about. No, explaining what people have are mad about it is pretty much going into the point of spoilers. It's pretty much you got to understand what's happening for the people to actually have an uproar about it. So to go into
No,
these things,
okay.
so here's the thing. Cuties is pretty much I think it's like is a French movie and it's kind of like it was one of those independent films, but Netflix bought it and then they pretty much distributed it, all that stuff. Um the movie, it has a general message, which honestly,
A few
if you
messages.
yeah, it has a few messages which you can easily you could pretty much see, but the fact that the film also has a couple scenes that it's hard to take on. It's very cringeworthy. The reason why it's cringeworthy because most of the girls, most of the people, most of the actors or actresses in this film are between the ages of 11 and 13. So some of the scenes that is really hard is pretty much for a brief second you see a girl pop out her breast and pretty much it's you see her breast. When another scene is when they get into a fight, one of the girls end up pretty much pulling down her pants to show her bottoms.
That's right. Yeah.
And there was one after that there was another scene that everybody was like, they was trying to question if she was actually a girl, so they said you need to do something to pretty much put that make people figure it out. And the girl, they didn't show this, but you pretty much could put one and two together, but she was in the bathroom where she pretty much took a picture of her hoo-ha and published it on their social media and all that good stuff. Well, it's not good stuff, but all that stuff. And yeah, they were also dancers. So some of the dances that they were doing, it was very sexual, more so where you see grown women doing pretty much being very seductive and all that kind of stuff, not really understanding what they're doing. And then I think another one that was just really cringeworthy is like when they were doing these dances, some of the poses are where you see camera movements where they were focusing in their crotch area. And like I said, it's between these girls are between the ages of 11 and 13. So it really was very unsettling. And honestly, the movie felt like a movie for pedophiles because the fact that it was just so many stuff on there that it just made you feel uncomfortable to the point where just like I can't even stomach watching this. Like when I was watching it, there was parts where I was like, I want to watch it just because the fact that I want to understand what everybody is getting to, talking about, and all that stuff. But what they're doing is really unsettling. So I had to find something to preoccupy my time just so that scene would pass, just so I could get move on to the next one. So it was very unsettling. Now pretty much just knowing the idea of this story, there's people been unsubscribing from Netflix, which I can't that was surprising me because I mean honestly a lot of people are using everybody else's Netflix, so that was one thing. But people are unsubscribing from Netflix because the fact that they are saying that this is promoting pedophilia, also,
Yeah.
I think the cultural references between one of the girls, which we'll talk about that on a later date. Um, then also pretty much the images that will show, was it necessary to show all that to pretty much show the message? So that was really the conversation. Like all the stuff that we see in the movie, was it worth showing there to actually pretty much, you know, bring forth the message of,
Yeah.
sexualizing women, what we put on social media and what everybody is seeing.
Mhm.
Now it is very deep because most of and what's fucked up is like the fact that it was one of those things that you could watch and it was like it's in your face. It's like, whoa, that's fucked up. But honestly, at the same time, I see this shit this day with people doing this shit on TikTok. When people are doing the savage dances or if they doing the WAP challenge
Yeah.
and doing those moves, like, yo, these are the same moves that these girls was doing. And the
Yeah.
fact that this movie was shot last year and the fact that this is like now relevant, like where's the hold up? So yeah, that's pretty much the whole craziness of behind the whole cuties. And honestly, everybody has taken sides. And honestly, I had a conversation on my Facebook, which it was like not that many people were feeling it because like some people was like, I watched it, I understood it, I got it. Some people were just like, I'm disgusted, they are nasty as fuck, I'm not watching it. And then there's people who just ain't gonna watch it, but they heard and saw articles that people talking about what they saw. So let
Yeah.
me ask you, did you end up seeing it and how you felt about it?
um. Okay. So I did watch it. Um. Because I too heard, the uproar and stuff, but I had already been hearing about it though from before, like in the world that I work in, I hear about a lot of different movies and stuff like that, and sometimes I see them early or whatever. But um, yeah, it was. First, I want to say I got the movie. I understand it. I don't know this young director, but it was shot well, and the reason that some people are so upwards because the rawness of the shots, the rawness of the angles, like how they were taken. The camera angles were suggested to put you in those little girls' mind and in that situation, how they were feeling, what they were trying to get across, and it was very raw. And some parts of me were hard to watch. The part in the bathroom that you referring to when she took the picture of her thing of her special area and posted, that was hard for me to watch. The last dance scene was hard for me to watch.
Hmm.
Even when they were practicing and trying, it was hard for me to watch. But that's because I'm a man, and those were little girls, and someone with a lot of nieces is it was just hard for me to watch. I have a niece their age, so I I took from it, like, I understood the message of the story. It was just showing how it was what portrayed in social media and everything that little girls were trying to be, but it was deeper than that. It was a girl trying to hold on to something that she had lost. She had found a new family. Her family was, it was. I don't want to get too far into the whole story, but it was a little girl trying to hold on to something that she lost and trying to find herself and becoming a woman, or trying, or just becoming a new person that she is. And then in the very end, it kind of showed that how she didn't choose this side or that side, but chose her own path. So, but I think it was a great script. The screenwriter did an excellent job, except for a few parts that bugged me the fuck out, like how the fuck was the phone still on all this time. But that shit had me fucked up throughout the movie. But as far as the shots that the people are uproared about, I get why they're mad. I can understand that, but I also get why the director took those shots and those angles. And throughout this story is about little girls, it's about women becoming women, and the stuff that they go through, the stuff that they see online and social media, and their friends that can influence them in the situations that lead them to go down on paths, like the anger that they feel for certain situations and the alienation that they might feel from certain individuals and stuff. So it's like their own path. Those girls chose dancing as an outlet, and they dove headfirst into it. That little girl dove headfirst into it, trying to perfect that. It's little boys who walk down the street, and it's other kids that they want to be like, who are playing basketball. and that's what they dive in themselves into basketball. And even little girls, they dive into other stuff like math and sciences or even sports. But these little girls happen to choose dancing. That's what the shots were showing, dancing. I thought at first it was going to be like sexual acts happening and shit like that. You know, I thought it was going to be on some of that type of shit, which made me not really want to watch it because I don't like watching scenes like that with any type of young girls or boys or rape scenes and all that. I just don't like watching that shit. But it wasn't like that. But I understood why people are mad. But they got also understand like these are from the aspect of little those situations happen in life. Like that has happened. That is a true story. That is a real story. Not saying that this particular story is an actual based on a real event, but I'm sure it has happened with little girls who are lost trying to find their way, stumble into something that's a little bit too far over their head, or even if it's not, they were actually practicing working towards something like a goal. And they were looking at the videos and seeing the grown-up girls, older women doing something that they was aspiring to do and they was working towards that. So it wasn't something that was like too out of the ordinary, bro. I thought it was a normal story, a normal aspect of trying to overcome something and find oneself. And it's just happened to be that some of the scenes and telling the story as raw and as true as that director and writer could tell or wanted to tell, it happened to rub some people the wrong way. And I'm not against Netflix for not taking it down because if that roles were reversed with little boys, you know, and Netflix has had movies with them with little boys who are sexualized or having sex at early ages or going into war and doing all this and killing and murdering people in movies and everything. This is really, I don't know, it's not even that big of a deal other than the shots and how raw it was. And it was little girls. So if you want to have a 2020 where everything's equal and fair, telling that story is fair because that story could really happen. That story could actually happen to any little girls who happen to start down a wrong path based off something that they're going through because they can't recognize their young brains can't recognize what it is. You know what I mean? Like they only see one thing. They only saw a goal at the end that they wanted to accomplish. They
Mhm.
wasn't trying like even the other little girls when like the shit had happened and they wanted to distance themselves away. It was like them showing they still had that innocence. And when that doctor came in, the shaman or whatever came in, and you know he was trying to see if the main character was evil or not. It showed that scene or whatever, and he was and even he said what he said. It just goes to show like there's still innocence here. It's just showing kids being kids. These are little girls being little girls. The shots may be raw for some people. I wasn't it made me cringeworthy because it was just like it was a little bit too close. The angles were too close. He was trying to be a little too suggestive or whatever. But it
Mhm.
was like I understood it though. Like women think like boys, little girls think like little boys. Like they're curious. Even like some of the stuff they were saying in there about rape and all that, it was just so off the wall. It was showing their innocence. You feel me? So in my head, I could see how people say it's a movie for grown men or women who are doing weird shit. You know what I mean? And they need to take it down for them. But it's a bunch of movies you could take. A pedophile gonna be a pedophile. They can go online and Google some shit or have black sites or pages. Pedophile gonna be a pedophile. You can't like take that down because it is a piece of art, bro. Like it was a solid movie. It was just some parts in there that may be in a little bit too raw for some people, some even for me. But that's just my perspective. Other people might have watched that shit and like I went through that. Like that was me. I was that little girl. I was out there twerking and doing that shit. You feel me? So I don't
Okay.
know. I don't think it was that big of a deal, in my opinion, why everybody's so uproar, but I understood it. I tried to look at it from an open mind perspective, and I think a lot of people need to do that, if, especially if they want to live in an equal 2020 and understand that little girls are like little boys. They get into mischief, they get into trouble, they're trying to find themselves just like everybody else in the world at some point. So, yeah.
All right, so like I said, like I had the conversation on my Facebook before I, went to watch the movie, and I'm not gonna lie, some of the people that were voicing their opinions made me very hesitant watching it, and then also made me feel some type of way before coming in, because like came in wanting to not like the movie because the fact that everything that they were saying, but when I watched it. I could see their talking parts and the talking points, and pretty much I understood what they're saying.
Hmm.
Now, what you're saying, everything that you're saying is very true. I'm not even going to combat it because the fact that that's how I felt. It's like it's one of those things that it's one of those movies that you have to watch. It's like even though you want to cringe up, you want to feel this way, you want to feel that way, but this is actually happening. I One of the things that people made point and they point it out in my comments is the fact that they were not comfortable with the girls that were in the show because the fact that yes these are actresses and actors that are of age but at the same time no, they are actors and actresses, but they're 11 to 13. So it's like you're watching a person that's not fully developed, you know, do these scenes and do all these things, and they probably don't really understand what they're doing. And they're not really going to understand until like they grow older and all that stuff. Even though
That
there are
that I can understand that as well.
so that's where most of people was just like,
Yeah,
that's where, and then talking about like it's promote pedophilia. I mean, yeah, like you said, honestly, pedophiles will go anywhere to go ahead and get
yeah.
there. So honestly, that is just like okay, I can understand. And then somebody said these girls are 11 or 13 between that age, and they over here pop the pop her breasts out. I'm like, okay, I
I don't
get that
remember nobody popping their breast out other than on that video.
on that video, and that's
But
it was on that video.
that was a
Now
grown woman though.
that's what I thought, but that group is actually one. That group was actually in their school because that's who they got in a fight with. That happened.
Oh, some
So,
older kids in that school. So okay, I see what you're saying.
so I think they might have got along away with it because bro, they're probably been old enough of age to the
Yeah,
point where they probably show it.
that's like
But
a grown woman that she got into a fight. Well, not a grown woman, but she was like at the 18, 19, right? Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not going ahead and defend it. It's just like I'm just saying we're pretty much saying how we saw it. I did see like it did look like a grown woman when they was watching that video when they popped the chest out. So, but yeah, like I said, on both ends, I could see those facts and those things being out there. But at the same time, I felt like the film did its job. It did have us having these conversations because it's one of those things like, yo, this is happening either you don't like it or not. And the fact that we're pretty much having fun watching these TikToks or Facebook on these challenges where these kids are doing these dances and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's just like they're doing the same exact shit that this movie has depicted. It was just the fact that this movie was so extreme to the point where it was unsettling that you have felt like you had to say something. And the fact that I'm like, well, you want to see a light version, then hey, this is what you're doing right now. So that's what I said. It was one of those things where I
There
felt
really was
that
only like 2 or 3 scenes.
it was a I would say it was a couple more, but just the fact that like what I said where people was like taking these ideas and it didn't sit right with them. That's where it was getting to,
Yeah.
and that's why I was like and then like I said, some people are saying all bringing these all to the social medias, and then people's like just because it said that, I'm not watching it. But then, you got me who's hearing all this stuff, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this. I'm like, okay, I can see what they were trying to do. I can understand what they were doing. I could say some parts may would have been better if you pretty much did without. But at the same time, it's one of those films that's like, yo, it's in your face because it needs to be in your face because the fact that when you sugarcoat shit, that's when you miss shit. But when it's all in your face, that's what makes it unsettling. It's only unsettling because the fact that we haven't have a conversation, so we could actually address the issue and then move, and then hopefully move past it or pretty much move for a solution. So that's where I'm like, okay, I get it. At the end, it's like I think where people is having it is like I feel like people are in limbo because the fact that one there is a deep message that is in the story. Then at the other end there is a lot of sexual very a lot of explicit some explicit scenes that was unsettling for the young girls to the point where it's like some of the message was lost in translation because people were focused on one and not the other.
Yeah. It's like it's one of those movies where you could choose to focus on something and it can make or break a movie for you as a person. And a
Mhm.
lot of people might have chose to focus on the sexualized aspect of the movie. Me, I wasn't really trying to like my brain just wasn't on anything sexual like watching it. So other than the scenes that made you like the scenes suggested the camera angles and shit, the way they were taken, it just made you go into that mode. And that's what made shit uncomfortable for me. It's like some of the angles. As far as the story was fine. Like my only thing was some of the camera angles, but that was that director's choice. They wanted to make it raw for you so people could talk about it just like we doing. This is more than likely what the director wanted you to get inside and like feel what was going on throughout the movie. And so you stay connected and entwined with it. You know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
yeah, it was just only a few three, four scenes at the most that made me feel uncomfortable. The story was fine. I got to everything they were trying to show. Like I got it. I picked it up. The timing, each message that they wanted to convey, they got it across. My only thing I was stuck on were the camera angle and how the fuck was this phone on all this time? My nigga didn't report it stolen. My nigga didn't get it turned off and get a new one. Nothing. It had
That
been
bad,
like,
bro.
huh?
Like she stole the phone. Like how you still got all this battery to be watching videos,
It
recording
wasn't
videos?
no code. She didn't have no charger for this motherfucker. It wasn't. I was like, bro, this phone fucking with me, man. I can't. I couldn't let the phone go. The whole time, me and my girl sitting here talking, and I'm like, when is he gonna come track this phone, bro? Like, when is he gonna call somebody and be like, I gotta need a new phone? It's been 3 weeks, a month, and I ain't had this motherfucking phone. Like,
I, I ain't thinking about that until now. It's so funny
it
because like I'm
fucked me
like,
up, bro. It fucked me up in the movie. I'm just like, every time she pulled it out, I'm just like, and then he finally came back. And boy, I ain't gonna tell the movie, boy. He had me mad though. The nigga had me hot. Just don't take no responsibility.
oh, you know what's kind of crazy too, and somebody made a point about it. This is a coming of age movie, and it was one of those things that's in your face. One of the somebody had made a comment about American Pie, and it's kind of funny because all right, just think about this. Watching this movie is with kids that was 11 to 13.
But they were
Kids
actually like
yeah,
11,
they were
13.
actually 13. So that's like middle school.
Yeah.
But like American Pie, that was off of kids that were in high school. So that's pretty much like
About to
16 to
graduate high school, yeah.
yeah,
So they was like
like
17,
15,
18.
17, yeah. So some of them 15, 16, 17, or probably 18. But if you think about it, when we watching this, we over here laughing, crying because of all the things that they was doing. Stifler over here trying to get with this person, or dude over here having sex with, a pie and
Hmm.
all that good stuff. But if you think about it, what if these actors were grown adults?
I think
So
they
think
all
about
were
that.
though.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's what they were. So just think about this. What if if they actually casted pretty much kids that were actually of that age in for those roles? Like how would people to like it took that in? because honestly,
It's
at the
probably
same
been the
at
same
one
though.
point, no, yeah, at one point we laughing because it's grown ass adults. So in our heads, we were like, hey, grown ass people doing this. That's funny. But on the other end, it's like these are supposed to be depicting kids at high school. So if we seen kids doing that shit, it's pretty much
I don't
okay. It's,
know. See, like American Pie, even if they would have cast 17 to 18-year-olds, which I'm sure some of them in like the extras and shit probably were, but it's different because it's like American Pie with 17 to 18-year-olds. That's really shit 17 to 18-year-olds are doing. They're trying to get laid. Whether it's a boy or girl, like girl, it might be different how they doing it, but dudes is fucking pies and trying to figure shit out if they ain't already busting nut. So
yeah, but the thing is, they're underage based off of, our standards, our cultural norms. They're underage, and yet this is being like you're seeing that in a film or a movie. So pretty much all the stuff that what you're saying about cuties is also you can kind of say you could pretty much relate to American Pie if they were
nah,
age.
if they were of a different yeah, if they was in junior high or something, but even it was a like maybe if they were dudes and girls in junior high, you couldn't make that a comedy. Well, you probably could if you did it a certain type of way. But my whole point with Cutie is one is the like American Pie you could just see that happening. But also, my point for Cutie was it was so raw. You could also see this happening with uh, girls in middle school because that stuff they do. They dance in groups together. It's just that we had cameras there and we watching these little girls be little girls, and it just made it weird. You feel me? But if if, if you don't think like I got a niece about that age. When she's with her friends or something, I don't know what she's doing. Like in my head, I'm hoping it's like homework and talking about TV shows and softball because she's really into softball and really good at it. So in my head, I'm thinking, but I don't know if they in the room twerking or some shit with like dudes who were doing different shit in groups together when we got along compared to how we were in front of our family and shit. And
I don't
so
even
I,
think of that shit.
like I know you don't want to think of it, but that's the point of the movie, though. And the movie is not only about those, it's about what they are seeing on social media and TV that is also playing a part in the decision making that they are making. They are seeing that. So one of the underlying situations in the movie is: do you really know what's going on with your child? Are you
Mm.
really there for them? Are you having conversations with them to find out what's really happening with your child? Are they being bullied or peer pressure or whatever? So that's one of the underlying factors throughout the entire movie. The father was not there. He was getting married to a whole nother woman. You know what I mean? Like the mom, she heard the conversation. All that shit is an underlying factor throughout the movie. So that's also one of the things that makes it so real. I don't know what my niece is really doing. Does my brother know what his daughter's really doing? I would hope so. He's on it. They always together. They real close and shit. So I would hope so, but I don't know. Same thing if I have a little girl. I'm gonna want to know the best. I hope she come to talk to me about everything, but like, do you really know? And that's one of the points of the movie. American Pie, your 17-year-old son is probably thinking about sex. You don't caught this nigga jacking off. I know once or twice, my nigga. Like you just didn't let him know. You know what I mean? Like you knew what he doing in the South for 45 goddamn minutes or in his room. American Pie is a true American story. We horny individuals, men and women, bro. We are animals by nature. Like
Bro,
so,
just thinking about that movie, like, why would you fuck a pie? And everybody's over here
you
trying to.
don't know what it feel like, and if a nigga tell you it feel like a hot apple pie, now some people gonna try that shit, fam. I ain't gonna never say I ain't never fucked a pie. I tried a pie, my nigga, but when I was like in junior high, and I wanted to know, my nigga, maybe shit. I might have tried something, goddamn, a tube sock with jelly in that motherfucker. I don't know. I probably would have.
Man, well, at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna lie, the movie, man, it did. I feel like it did its purpose. It did.
It definitely did that.
The marketing behind it. I felt like the American like it was funny because like the American marketing of it, it was just pretty much the girls and that one dancing and they was posing, and so many people just based off that and the very vague description of the movie in the beginning, everybody was just making assumptions of how the movie is gonna be,
Yeah,
and like pretty much everybody was way off because the movie was like pretty much so much different. So it's like in that sense, I felt like yo, it did like right there. I felt like it was like kind of good marketing where it took the publicity of good and bad PR to the point where it's just like, yo, this is something that's going to be effective. This is going to be something that we don't have to put too much in, but we're going to get a lot out of
yeah,
because the fact that pretty much with this vague this image, people are going to go ahead and have conversations behind it, and pretty much when we actually go out, some of those people who have those conversations are going to want to see if this is actually worthwhile or what they're then they're gonna
yeah,
go ahead and get the message. Then they're gonna get the reviews. People are gonna talk about it, and either people gonna want to listen in or kind of get an understanding of what it. So I felt like the marketing behind it in my case, I felt like it was effective, but like I said, I would love to see how other people felt about it. And I was like, I would love to see how one people felt towards that, and then two other marketers like how would they classify this because the fact that I felt that it was effective, just me being a marketer myself. But
yeah.
some people might think it was wrong because the fact that it was a lot of bad publicity behind it, and not all bad publicity is good publicity or publicity at all because the fact that you going away from the message. So like I said, there's talking points within a lot of things, and I think it's really down to this perspective of it, and that's pretty much how I felt about the movie. It's just only the perspective, because like how you said, you coming in, you might have focused on one thing, and you pretty much missed the whole entire message, or if you actually just came in, try to see the whole message. You could get a bit of understanding, and then you could see on both ends what people are talking about, and
Yeah.
then you could easily deduct your own opinion based on the movie. So that's why I did. Like honestly, I took my own opinion for the movie. I felt that I'm not gonna probably watch it again, but at the same time, it was one of those things where it was worth watching to actually get a better understanding of what the conversation is, and then also having that conversation.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. I love the messaging in the movie. I thought it was shot really well, man. It was shot really well. It was raw. It was up close. It was personal. It was um, it was a learning moment, man. It was a glimpse into a different world, and I think that's what movies are, just small glimpses into other worlds, man. That's one of the reasons I love them, and I work in this industry that I work in. So um, I thought the director did a great job. I thought the writer did a great job. And I thought, and I think Netflix did the right thing by leaving the movie up and not giving it too out of pressure out there. So because there's a million things on Netflix that you can go watch it, that movie just ain't for you, man. So like, it got to be options though. You got to have this different. It got to be spaces where women can tell their stories, and women were once little girls at some point. So um, it we need that space. We need that opening, and so I'm proud of Netflix for doing that. Um, I love Netflix. I continue to subscribe there. I probably will continue to. So they give
Yeah,
you different
you gotta
options,
worry about the
different options
unsubscription
and views.
over
Yeah.
here. Like saw
Um,
some of the people like, I'm gonna unsubscribe to these motherfuckers. I'm like, all right, watch. They're gonna have a movie on there. You gonna be really wanna watch. I'm like, let me see. Are you gonna ask somebody for their username and password? Let's see. But I
like
ain't gonna lie, it made me thought about like my future daughter. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna be that type of father that's not knowing but like, man, oh my god, I'm gonna be very invested in their
I'm
lives.
saying, it's like you really. I've learned from having nieces, like, and nephews. I got like 9 of them right now, so I understand that you going. try and do everything you can for your kids, but they gonna learn, go through life as their own little people. They are their own little people. So, and I mean, they started at a very young age, like 3 or 4. They got personalities, and they out here making decisions, and they know what line is. They know all that. They little people. So all you can do is do your best to be there for them. Trust that you are raising them in the right way, but even still, you don't know. Just try and keep an open line of communication so they can come to you and talk to you about life, man. And that's one of the things I took from this, but also learned that watching my older brothers and my sister have kids and all that type of stuff. So um, I liked the movie, man. It was cool. I probably won't watch it again because, like I said, it was some points in there that were a little bit too raw, even for me having nieces of my own. But I did take the messaging from it, and I do recommend other people go watch it, like especially parents and of little girls. So, but yeah, I love foreign movies though. I've been watching a lot of foreign movies, especially in Nollywood, like out of Africa. They be like low budget sometimes and shit, but they be good movies. They got good writers and shit, good comedy happening. It's a lot of good work coming out of Africa
Mhm.
and out of Europe. So, and it's different angles. So, being an American writer, we have one way of writing. Most movies are wrote in the same format and TV shows and stuff. But Europe and everything, they open a box up. They, bust that thing down with the length and all that different shit. So, but yeah, so I appreciate the work. I appreciate her bringing the story to life and doing it. And all the backlash, I think it how you were saying the movie did what it was supposed to do. It got the uproar. I think that they wanted, and I think that they expected. I think Netflix expected to have some type of backlash from this,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
they were prepared for it. And
Something like it's 2020. Something's gonna happen within the next week or so, and we'll stop talking about this. So either way,
oh, tomorrow, bro! Like the news cycle is every 24 hours. So Twitter and shit so volatile, and so social media it be on one thing and then on to the next, and then it might go back around or something else that happened because another situation reminded them of it. But it's all gonna keep on going, bro. It's just gonna the
mhm,
world gonna keep moving. But yeah, man, that right there, that was a good little talk though, man. That was a good little Netflix chit chat. My brother shit. We've been going for over an hour and a half now, so I think we're gonna cut this podcast off here in a second, though, man. But I appreciate you, my brother, man. Always a good convo with you, fam. Always
yeah,
good convo, fam.
I
Mhm.
do. I honestly, before we close off, I
Yeah,
want to
what's
send
up? Talk to me.
and I'm send my prayers to all the people that's on the West Coast. Pretty much, I know that y'all having the wildfires there. I've seen the pictures. Like
Indeed,
honestly, all
indeed.
day looking red, orange, the smoke in the air. I know the quality, and I know some of y'all are just like leaving out there. Like my prayers go out for y'all. And honestly, if honestly, I'm looking at and trying to find ways that we can probably help out, or if I can like donate whatever I can to go that way. Like honestly, if I can, like let me know, let
For
us
sure.
know because the fact that I can't imagine, what y'all going through. And I know eventually, some of us I heard some of the stuff that said, it's coming over to Arizona. It's not the fires, but like the smoke and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I know
Right
the
on.
way live and it's not even work. Cause like shoot, walking around outside with just our our masks, that's junk is just annoying. And the fact that y'all actually have to go through all that stuff. So like I said, my prayers out for y'all. If there's anything we can do, please let us know. But much love to y'all.
Yeah, I like definitely. I used to live out on the West Coast and stuff. So, and I still got a lot of family out there in Southern California and friends on the West Coast and up in Oregon and Northern Cali as well too. So I definitely want to, extend my, love and condolences to anybody that lost anything or anyone, or and even if you just fighting going through this, man, I'm praying for you, and we right here with you. to all my people out there, I'll stay trying to hit y'all up and make sure y'all okay. Everybody that I know is good right now, so that's a blessing. And shout out to
Mhm.
Cali for and those inmates who are help fighting the fire. I know like now they about to sign something where all those inmates who are helping fight the fires and stuff, when they get out, their records will be expunged so they can go be real firefighters and shit like that. Well, I ain't gonna say real firefighter because they are real firefighters right now, but actually get out and go join a fire department and get those benefits, and and enjoy that for
Mhm.
the deeds that they're doing right now, which is greatly needed. So we appreciate y'all, and y'all stay safe as well. And shout out to Cali for doing that, for expunging records and stuff if that does go through, and it should go through. Um, but yeah, man, everybody out there on the West Coast, y'all stay safe, man. We got number love for y'all here. It's a scary time just all through the country. This whole year been fucked up, man. So just everybody that was who was affected by the hurricanes and shit in the Gulf, all love to y'all, prayers still with y'all. And as my man said, if y'all know extra ways we can do to help, I'm gonna be trying to find ways to so I can donate as well. And but yeah, if y'all know anything out there we can help with, then y'all comment, leave that message or whatever, so we can either spread that love and get it out to the airways, or donate or help out any way we can. But yeah,
Mhm.
thank y'all, man, for joining again. We appreciate y'all, my boy. Y'all know where to
No
find
doubt.
us at. Our social media is going to be at the bottom as always. I'm pretty sure y'all can see them right here. But I am your boy, Mansa JK. My partner over here is,
Marcel. See y'all later.
and we out this thing. One.
100.